This week on Wrestle Wednesday, the show must go on.
Loading snacks.
What's good, Loading Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes here, and it's time for another edition of Wrestle Wednesday.
Yeah! Wait. No audience.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. So, something we talked about. So WWE and AEW put on their latest shows, and in doing so, there was no audience present. So, if you guys haven't been watching the last few weeks, or if you haven't been around to know things that are going on in the world right now, because of the coronavirus, WWE and AEW have both decided to put on their shows, but without actually having an audience present. So now when I first thought of this possibility, I was like, ooh, this is probably gonna be very awkward, so weird, it's just not gonna work. Now, I wanna start with WWE. So WWE has done it twice so far now, with Raw and SmackDown. Let's just say it didn't quite go, I don't think, the way that they wanted. So, to start, SmackDown. When it first came on, Michael Cole was commentating alongside of Triple H. Now, it looks like the plan was Triple H was only going to be there for like the first segment, and he was going to leave and go away. He left, he went away, and apparently Twitter did not like that at all. So Triple H had to come back to commentary to try to brighten things up a little bit. Now, granted, for SmackDown, I know it was last minute that they decided to go to this particular format to do. What made it a little bit awkward was the fact that this was SmackDown, but they were playing a huge chunk of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And so it made things a little bit weird, because you thought it was just like, oh, we're going to show this quick little throwback of what happened and then go into the next segment. No, we literally almost got the whole entire men's Elimination Chamber match. Now, granted, I chalk that up to possibly a lot of superstars, travel issues, probably couldn't necessarily get to Florida and get to the Performance Center, which I can understand. So they had to try to fill in those gaps a different way. One thing that did happen that I don't think they were quite thinking was going to happen was the cameras, of course, they were getting ready to go to commercial, but I guess someone forgot to either switch to the commercial or something. So when the women were wrestling and it went to commercial, they literally just stopped. Like, stop. And we could all see this. I know that wasn't supposed to happen. So I get it. That's the first time you guys had to do that. Adjustments had to be made. I get it. Then comes along Raw, and it pretty much followed that same setup. The only difference with this one was we got a huge chunk of the Royal Rumble match pretty much during the middle of Raw. Wasn't really just like a little throwback. We got a whole good chunk of it. So seems like traveling issues is gonna be a thing, at least for right now. So I'm not exactly sure what WWE's plans are going to be trying to do this live event without the fans being present, but let's just say it was a little awkward. Funny moment, that was a little awkward, but it was pretty funny. Stone Cold was on Raw. It was 316 day, Austin. And of course, he came out and he asked for everyone to give him a hell yeah. And it was literally just like that. No hell yes. The camera switched to the audience, or I should say audience list out there, but it was funny, but it was just weird and awkward. Now, switching gears, AEW also did the same thing with Dynamite. Now, I'm gonna have to say, in this particular scenario, I gotta give major props to AEW because I felt like their show went off a little better in comparison to WWE. Now, granted, they had a little bit of a bigger arena, bigger space to actually work with, but they managed and used that space very well. So, unlike WWE not having like any fans or anybody, out in the audience, AEW decided to have some of the wrestlers out there, some of the commentators, some of the people from backstage to kind of fill in that empty void that normally we would hear cheers and things from. And I thought that worked very well, especially using MJF, who he's a heel, bona fide heel, pretty much just making fun of people the whole night that was out there in the wrestling ring. Absolutely hilarious. And it still gave you that feel that there was actually really like an audience there. Now granted, they used pyro, they had all their pyrotechnics, so there really wasn't too much of a difference other than the fact there was just no fans there. But overall, the presentation that they gave to us, it felt like a more complete package. Now, I will say, with both of these companies, with the way things are right now, I will still say I enjoyed still having both shows on, because with everything that's going on, it's still nice to be able to watch and see the things that, me in particular, that I really love to watch on television. Is it a little bit different? It is, but they're still giving us the presentation. I'm just hoping that with the way things are, we'll start to see this kind of shape up, give us the presentation a little bit better. Oh, not to mention, WrestleMania is still happening. You heard that right. WrestleMania is still happening, but it's going to be at the Performance Center. It with no people, the same way. And it's going to be on 2 nights. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go, but I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna see how this is gonna go. But I don't think WrestleMania should have just been postponed and maybe tried to wait it out. Maybe had the big show someplace else, because this is gonna be one awkward WrestleMania. But all we can do is wait and see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Did you think the presentation was pretty good, or think it could use some work in the next few weeks? Drop some comments down below. Till next week, this has been Jokes, and I'll catch you later. What's good, Loading Snacks universe? Did you think that was too sweet? Well, do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you're watching this on. And also, jump on over to patreon.com/Loading Snacks, where you can support us in everything we do and pick the tier of your choice. Much appreciated.